And when you ask them as to what work-life balance is, they believe that instead of working 8 hours, they should work only 6 hours. And they should go home by at least by 4:30, 5 o'clock is a max. After that, मेरे को घर जाने का. So this is work-life balance. And my experience has been quite different. People who are successful leaders today are people who are able to bring about a harmonious combination of IQ, EQ and SQ. When I say IQ, I think it's everybody understands how intellectually capable you are, and that I think is a base. Everybody assumes that they are intelligent. But the two other factors, which is the emotional quotient, which is required to make one successful at the workplace, becomes very, very critical. And the third aspect, which is SQ, is the spiritual quotient. I believe that for successful leaders, spiritual quotient is very, very important. Spiritual quotient is not about being religious. It is about our ability to sense of what's happening, our ability to feel, and our ability to relate with whatever is going on around us. And therefore, a combination of IQ, EQ and SQ becomes very, very critical. I just want to add here that everybody has a notion of success, what success is. And I have seen people across different levels deciding as to what success is. And I always wonder, is there anything called success? Which is where you can say that I have achieved this, so I am successful. So as you grow up in careers, you think that if I reach a level, say I have become a manager, so I am very happy that I have become successful. And then you suddenly realize that you actually should be general manager. So then you start becoming again disappointed and start thinking of how to become a general manager. When you become a general manager, you suddenly realize that that is not success. You should become president. And then when you become president, you suddenly think that you should become a CEO. And this goes on and on. So I think what I have seen again is people who are really successful are people who know how to deliver their best and reach their maximum potential. And when I say this, I have seen that every individual has something which is an inherent potential in it. And so long as you are able to give your best to your job, everything else comes automatically. So it is not about traveling in plush cars, it's not about flying business class, it is not about sitting in air-conditioned offices, but it is about what is it that you can contribute to the place where you work, and are you able to give your full best to that place. And that is success to me. So I believe that we need to really recalibrate our brains to define success in terms of what I can give to the organization than what the organization can give to me. I also believe that the fact that you've taken the trouble of going through this MBA is a very, very creditable feat, because I'm sure that most of you are working and yet you find the time to go and do an MBA. Most of you must have read Stephen Covey, who said that for a person to remain continuously effective, he should continuously sharpen his saw. And I am reminded of a story of two woodcutters who were sent to the forest to cut wood. One guy went and cut about 100 logs, and by end of the day he would come back with 100 logs. And the other guy would cut about 50, same time. And both of them were given the same equipments. So the owner asked the guy who was cutting 50 logs as to what was happening. And his response was that I put all my efforts, I put all my strength, and I am completely tired at the end of the day, but I don't know what this other guy is doing, he must be doing some mischief. Then they went and asked the other guy as to what is it that you do. And the response was, he said, when I cut the 25th log, I sharpen my saw. I make it more sharper. So by end of the day, I am able to cut 100 logs. So friends, I think the secret of our success is to continuously upgrade. And there can't be a better upgradation than upgrading your knowledge base. But let me assure you here that just holding a piece of paper saying that I have done an MBA or saying that I have read this book is not good enough. It is important to apply that knowledge and make a difference. So it's my pleasure to be talking to you, and I'm really happy to be here with all of you, and it's my privilege, and I thank Dr. Ramana and Professor Mani for inviting me here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir. That was a very perceptive and thought-provoking address. And now I would like to introduce Dr. Gyanamurthy ma'am. She is the Dean and pillar of strength and inspiration of IHS, that is Institute of Health Sciences. Could I request Dr. Gyanamurthy ma'am to say a few words?
She is a good speaker. Murthy ma'am is a good speaker. I want all of you to tell.
Good evening to all of you. Thank you very much. Congratulations to all the successors, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Well, now dear friends, it is time for the customary release of our alumni book for April 2012. May I request